What is going on, everyone? If you don't know who I am, my name is Benjamin Nowak, and today's video is a super special one. We're actually fishing a bait that has basically changed my entire fishing career, my entire fishing lifestyle, and that is a Berkley Chigger Craw. But not just any Berkley Chigger Craw. You guys know by the title, it is the very brand new, unreleased Berkley MaxScent Chigger Craw. A Chigger Craw has always been tied on the back of a jig for me, and it's just such a powerful bait, such a powerful tool to go out and catch fish. So today we're going to be fishing the 3-inch power bait MaxScent watermelon Chigger Craw. Really clean water, super clear visibility, tons of big bluegill. This watermelon is going to be a good choice. So that's what I'm going to tie on, a 1/2 ounce green pumpkin style jig. Rod I'm going to be throwing it on is the TFO Tactical Elite 756. It's a 7.5 heavy rod, but it's moderate action. The reason I like that, kind of has a little bit more give when I set the hook on these fish. Abu Garcia Revo 7.3-1 STX reel, 20-pound test fluorocarbon line. If you guys can't tell, I'm beyond stoked, so let's get this thing rolling. Divvy this package up between Alex and I. Brand new bag, cracked it open.
And there's nothing so design-wise that's different about the design, right? It's still the Chigger Craw shape. It's just that MaxScent.
It looks identical. Obviously, this is a 4-inch size, so there's going to be a size difference. The paddles have that slender to thicker paddle. That's going to give it that flailing action. The body looks the same. I think the only difference is that this one is a MaxScent and this one is your standard power bait. Standard power bait feels maybe a little bit more firm, but not significant. So they should hold up pretty decent from what I can tell. You have your muted color tones, which I really like in just general, especially in clear water situations, but your muted color tones in your MaxScent lineup as opposed to your standard more glossy color tones in your standard power bait. One more thing really quick, the dispersion factor in MaxScent is so much more than the power bait. Like obviously this has your power bait scent, a lot better dispersion off this bait, so when you're slow dragging a jig, when you're fishing a jig a little bit slower, you're going to get a lot of scent dispersion, which is going to help get fish into the boat or call the fish to the bait. First cast with the Chigger Craw, I'm fishing it on a 1/2 ounce blue craw style jig. There's the Chigger Craw right there on the back and the MaxScent. Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. What I'm doing right now is I'm basically flipping these grass edges. There's a really hard steep drop. You guys can probably see the shallow water with grass on it. There's tons of bluegill roaming that little drop. So we're gonna be fishing this down the break, around grass flats, around grass patches. Maybe even go up and flip some docks with this thing. Alex and I were talking. I thought there was a thermocline. I can see a hard line on my live scope, which I'll show you guys. Out here in this deeper water, there's this really fuzzy line and it's everywhere around the lake. And what we're wondering actually is if they didn't just spray this lake for grass, because they do that a lot up here in Michigan, and they use copper sulfate. Well, it sinks, and the benefit of it is it gets to the roots of the milfoil or grass in the lake, so it kills it really well. But the problem is, one, it kills the grass and it makes the habitat for these fish kind of disintegrate. Two, it sinks to the bottom, so these fish have to suspend up. And these fish are acting really zombie-like. They're just kind of like cruising up in the column, like not acting super aggressive by any means. And what's happening, I think, is with 4th of July coming up in a couple weeks, they're trying to spray the lake to get the grass under control before the 4th of July. And so that's what's making these fish a little bit tougher. It might be one of those deals where we have to fish around hard cover, like docks, and actually make shallower casts than we normally would. And we'll just have to see, because I'll tell you what, this break fishing is not it right now for me. I think what we're gonna do is pull a little pond hopping mission to go to another lake nearby that will hopefully not be sprayed. Not really. There's the other one. They might be stacked up just a little bit on this point. Thanks, buddy. That's 2 fish right on this little point. I mean, it's one of the few contours on this lake too, aside from a drop. So I think it's just helping these fish kind of set up on it. We're gonna fish this dock through, fish that dock through, maybe fish down that seawall. If we don't put something together, this lake is going to be toast. That might be a better one. a good one. I mean, it's not a giant, but it's a better one. Thank you, fish. It's another one. It's like 3 fish right in a row, right on that MaxScent. Like Alex just said too, wind's blowing in on this. There's a little bit of contour here. All those fish came like off of this inside turn little break. And so even though there's nothing to hold them here really, it's a good staging spot or setup spot for them to actually hang out. So even though there's no grass for these fish to get in, it's a good area for them to set up and stage in. So I had a little bit of fun fishing the 3-inch MaxScent Chigger Craw. There's, I believe, 4 left in that pack. Just no big ones. This lake is getting a lot of pressure. I still think they sprayed this lake. There's still a lot of areas where it looks like there's no grass because they sprayed it, and I'm seeing that silty stuff in the water column. That's not a thermocline. Water temp's only 71 degrees. So we're gonna actually bounce lakes. We're gonna go to a different lake, hopefully have a little bit more success, maybe some bigger fish. Mr. Alex Rudd, my best friend in the whole world, is out here experiencing this fun with me, so go check out his channel as well. We actually split the pack of Chigger Craws, so he got to fish a couple too. But man, it's just been really tough. We're gonna bounce to a different lake, look for some big ones, and I'll catch you guys here in just a second. There you go, buddy. Hot dang. That's not a pipe. That's a big largemouth. Good work, buddy. Heck yeah.
Good work, bud. That's what I'm talking about.
Whew!
Like the freaking clapping on them
Heck
cheeks.
yeah, I didn't want to lose that one. Thank you, fish.
Good work, buddy.
That's what it ate right there. A little half-ounce jig. Berkley MaxScent Chigger Craw. That thing is the deal, dude. That fish smoked it. My gosh. Oh, that felt so good. Here, good work. I found those kind of like this concept for a pattern when I was back there fixing the bilge. Alex was fishing around. Just basically took him out to 8 foot and dropped him there with no trolling motor. And he's like, man, it seems like when I got around that grass, like those fish were just there. You don't say.
You don't say. Look at that grass coming up where you hit that fish.
Yeah.
Just floated up.
Good work, dude. It's kind of like this edge.
Okay.
Did you do that?
I'm standing here.
Dude, I thought for sure you were over there messing with me.
No, I'm standing.
Thanks, fish. Dude, I thought you were messing with me again because that bite was so violent. That bite was so violent. I thought you were messing with me. My whole rod shook. Okay, so what we're doing right now, we're running and gunning. We're looking for grass in the right depth. We only have like another hour, hour and a half to be out here before we go meet up with Monster Bass crew. So we're just kind of running around the lake looking for grass in that 8 to 12 foot zone. And it's got to be really thick. It's got to be heavy where the bluegills and the bait fish can hang around because that's where the bass are going to sit. But we're going to run down the lake a little bit, fish probably 1 or 2 more spots, and then call it a day, bounce out of here. But so far, so good. I've caught some pretty good ones. It's been a little bit of fun. Salvaged a tough day and made it pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm going to kind of back us off it a little bit because both my bites were only like, wow, there must be a lot of fish because that fish came out so hot. It's a large one. Thank you, buddy. Whew. There's another one on that Chigger Craw. This is the last one we're gonna fish because there's one more in the bag and I'm keeping that as a keepsake. But that is sweet. It definitely catches them. One thing that I told Alex when I was reeling that fish in, there must be a whole bunch of them because the way that fish started running straight away from that like area when he bit makes me think there's a bunch of competition down there and he doesn't want his buddies to get that bait from him because he came and basically sprinted out of there as fast as his little tail would sprint him.
No legs.
He ain't got no legs, big boy.
Ain't no hands.
what I'm trying to do right now is find some cover or grass on this steep drop. This is one of the steepest drops in the lake, and as you can tell, we're not that far offshore. We're in 8 foot of water, so it drops off really hard in about 20 foot of water to our left. And a lot of times what these fish will do is they'll get on this first grass or first bit of cover that's out here, especially after spawning up in this shallower water. So kind of what we're looking for is just some sort of grass or some sort of edge that has cover on it, because that's where these fish will hang around to ambush all the bluegill that are up on that shallow flat as well.
The dad's just gonna get him all right, I'll let him.
Thanks, buddy. Little post spawner. These fish are just getting in this grass, man. This bite is gonna get so good. It's gonna get so good. Whew. But yeah, that's my last Chigger Craw MaxScent. Whew. And they were biting it. That is awesome. Absolute mass carnage of Chigger Craws on the boat, like claws everywhere. This little top section of the 4-inch, because I bite it down just a little bit. I gotta say, those MaxScent are pretty cool. Durability is not quite as good as the traditional power bait, but I do think the scent and that MaxScent technology makes up for it a little bit. But the action is the same as the standard Chigger Craw, which is all you can really ask for, because you can't really get too much better than Chigger Craw action, in my opinion, on the back of a jig.
Got him that time.
I was reaching down on my chest camera, and this buddy did. Come here. This is showing off some fun, boy. Showing off some fun. Thanks, fish. Oh God, there's fish. Absolutely ripped it out of that grass. Did you see how high my rod was? Oh, shit.
Good job, buddy.
Thanks, dude. Did you see how high my rod was? That's that grass those fish are in. So that's milfoil. I'm not sure what kind of grass this is, but it's just a mixture of grasses. Thanks, buddy. It is weird though, dude. You get like a couple bites.
You get 1 or 2 bites. Like you'll get one bite, and then the other guy will get a bite and miss it.
Yep. Okay, boys and girls, last flip of the day for me. That is my day. Berkley Chigger Craw, 1/2 ounce jig, magic craw color. I was fishing that MaxScent and watermelon earlier. Now I'm just fishing the standard power bait, 4-inch Chigger Craw and green pumpkin. And that's what I caught every single fish on today. So it's been fun, one of my favorite bites. Catch you guys here in just a second on the big camera, and we'll recap today. Oh man, what a day. Like Alex keyed in on that grass bite, and it just seemed like every grass patch you pulled up to, you could catch 1, 2, 3 fish. Then you'd have to bounce and go to another one. But that Chigger Craw was the deal. I'm going to say that MaxScent Chigger Craw is a little bit less durable than the traditional power bait. So when you're dragging a jig, when you're really soaking a jig, that could be the deal. But a lot of times when you're just flipping it and they're eating it on the fall, standard power bait might just be the way to go. That's just kind of my personal opinion, first impressions with that bait. That's only the 3-inch size, so it's not like an overall true, I guess, apples to apples comparison, but it's pretty close. Has a ton of action. Looks like the Chigger Craw in the water, which is like my favorite bait, and those muted color tones are going to be huge. A lot of fun today, but now we're going to hang out with the Monster Bass dudes and continue hanging with Mr. Alex Rudd. Go check out Alex's channel if you're not already subscribed to him. He posts a lot of fun content, fishing content, kayak content, just really cool stuff. So if you're not subscribed to him, it'll be linked down in the description below, as well as all of the gear that I used in today's video. I'm also trying to do more breakdown videos where I break down specifically what we were doing to catch these fish, so that might be coming soon, so keep an eye out for that. But tons of awesome content coming your way. So stay tuned. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comment section down below. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, go hit that little subscribe button. It'll let you know when I post more content just like this right here. And as always, thank you for watching. Take care, tight lines. God bless. Pursue your passion.